earlier you met Janet Nepales, Ruben Nepales, and Peter Gonzaga. And now we're being joined by Chris Trondsen. He also joins us on Mondays on the red carpet on Kababayan, LA. And earlier we talked about top 3 news concerning Filipinos in Hollywood. And then we talked about top 3 breakout artists of 2011, male or female. And right about now, let's go local. Let's talk about Filipino-American community events in Hollywood or entertainment related. And because you're the newcomer in this segment, let's start with you. What is your top 3?
You know, in Newport Beach this year, they had the Newport Beach Film Festival, which is one of the biggest Orange County film festivals. And of course, Subject I Love You is one of the big films there. Not only was it the first film to be sold out, but you had people traveling from different areas of the country as far as Alaska just to be able to meet Jericho. And it was like a mob. When he got there, there's so many people waiting outside for him to exit. So it was just amazing to see the love he got from all areas of the country.
And it's not just about that. It's about showing the organizers of the film festival that we can sell out screenings and that we have stars that are bankable. And that's good because, you know, hopefully that paves the way for actors to come into Hollywood and to get cast in different Hollywood roles in Hollywood movies. Ruben, your top 3.
I'll have to go to New York because the last November 7, Fil-Am had a big fundraising gala, which is what's called Sweets by Sunrise. And all the biggest names, all the biggest Fil-Am names in Filipino musical theater, or actually Broadway, were tapped in that show. So from Lea Salonga to TV Carpio, who's in that Spider musical. So I think it was the biggest gathering ever of Fil-Am musical theater talents.
Yes, and props to Fil-Am for doing that. I know since last year, 2010 palang, they've been talking about that. And so congratulations for finally pulling it off. And your top 3?
Well, my third one is, it's actually an ongoing thing, is at Nepales in Glendale. It's actually a restaurant bar, but they always spotlight very good Fil-Ams or expats performing there, such as, let's see, Antoinette Toise, Francis Velasco, Nero Deline. So, you know, it's one of those places to go to if you want to see...
Nepales in Los Angeles. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's a new bar and restaurant that just recently opened up, and they're spotlighting Fil-Ams.
Ayan, you're advertising,
yeah,
huh?
I know.
Top 2.
I'll have to go to New York again. As mentioned before, si Camille Mana and Ana Maria Perez de Tagle for their breakout in Broadway and off-Broadway.
Yeah, okay, top 2.
For me, I mean, one of the biggest shows on Fox is, of course, So You Think You Could Dance. And what was so historic about this season is you had not 1 but 2 Filipinos in the top 4. And not only were they just in the top 4, they made such an impact. They went on tour this year with the So You Think You Can Dance tour, and they built such a huge fan base. And so it was really big to show that different areas of entertainment, you can have, you know, Filipinos totally take over. So that was really big.
Exactly, because we've always known that Filipinos excelled in singing. Cherise Pampanco, Arnel Pineda, Lea Salonga, and all that. You mentioned about the Broadway stars, but now really coming into the forefront is also Filipino dancers really making.
And you have, you know, over 10 million people watching each week, and multiple episodes because they have the results and stuff. So 20 million people are seeing, you know, Filipinos dominate the show. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right, and Peter?
Second would be International Secret Agents. It's a concert that mostly Asian Americans, so Filipinos are included into that, and also Far East Movement and Wong Fu Productions are the ones that brought it together about 4 years ago. And one of the members of Far East Movement is Filipino, DJ Verman, which is I've known him since he was a little kid. So you know, so a lot of young Fil-Ams that trying to break out through YouTube or through social media are able to be highlighted at that concert that would never been highlighted in Hollywood.
And that is why I like all these people contributing to Kababayan LA in terms of entertainment, because Pacific Rim, I think Chris and Peter, you have a different take because you're more into grassroots, you're more into second, third, fourth generation Filipino Americans. And of course, Ruben and Janet are more into Hollywood, what's happening with the big stars, you know, rubbing elbows with the stars that we see on TV, Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, and all that. And your top 1 in your, what do you think in your opinion?
It would have to be Magnum Ruby at the Ford Theater, because this was a big story and it was an acclaimed play about our manongs, and for that to be staged in a mainstream theater like Full Ford was something. And not only that, it was also picked up by all the critics. All the critics loved it, and it was a chance for all our film actors to be on the mainstream stage.
Exactly. Congratulations to Ted Benito, the producer who put this together. Also congratulations to John Briones. I love John. I think I met him through you guys also, or through
he
that.
did very well too in Magnum Rubio.
He fits the character to a T, and he really does justice to the role. He's really wonderful. Amazing, amazing play. And your top one?
You know, a big film, of course, Amigo.
Okay.
And I think John Sayles, you know, has really spotlighted the Filipino-American War that kind of gets brushed under the rug. And we were fortunate enough to be able to interview Joel Torre, who's, of course, you know, a Filipino star in the film. And I think what was so huge is it had such a good reception at the Chinese, you know, Grauman Theater last year that they brought it out again. It did different film festivals, you know, all throughout the country, of course, here in Southern California. And it gave Filipinos an opportunity to really sit with John Sayles and ask him questions. And a lot of them felt like they learned things that they didn't even know.
And John Sayles, this is huge because John Sayles is not even Filipino. He's a legendary filmmaker. And he was able to take interest in this and actually endeavored to produce something like this very quickly because we're running out of time. Top one.
Magnum Rubio.
Magnum Rubio. Same. All right. We're going to be talking about what to look out for or who to look out for in 2012. Don't go away.